principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. Principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. Put on camouflage. Eyes in the sky. New covenant. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's time to get into formation. We gotta get ready for the battle. So call on your brothers and sisters. We gotta turn back to the scriptures. Stop making it all about you. Them preachers, they got it confused. Come out of her. Cause Yahuwah is our deliverer. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, cause nobody's perfect. We're called by his name. We're called by his name. Seek him to be worthy. We should be coming together. There's power in unity. It's time to come into the order, cause we are a living prophecy. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. Lace up them boots. We gotta move step mode, put on camouflage. We gotta be wise. Open your eyes to the most high in the skies. We must stop arguing and surrender.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom. It is Michael Israel, and I want to extend a special shalom to all the viewers watching on Milk in the Morning. Brother Mosh and Brother Judah Mac reached out to me. They're real busy, and I told them, hey, if you want me to fill in, I can. So I'm just doing a lesson today, And it's going to be a very applicable lesson, as you can see by the title, Exposing the Deception. I'll be bringing out some very heavy information. What I'm doing right now is just getting the word out, getting this video shared on social media. But yes, it's going to be a very heavy lesson. I've actually taught parts of this to my followers on spiritual combat, and it was a very eye-opening, a very shocking lesson to a lot of people, because they didn't realize that they were deceived in these areas, and I think it's been a priority. I've been kind of teaching on this lesson in one way or another the past couple of weeks, or the past week really. But yeah, so if y'all could make sure y'all share this. Need to send this to if y'all can share the link to this lesson to Judah Mack and Mosh also. I think I've already shared it on their Milk in the Morning page. I'm going to share it on their page. And I'm going to just take a minute to let everybody get in there. I still see a lot of people coming into the room on Facebook and on YouTube, because we're on Spiritual Combat YouTube also. So, but yeah, it's going to be a very heavy lesson. It's just we're going to get all the way to the bottom. No hearsay, no talking, no fancy talk. I'm going to break it down in very simple. I'm going to show you plainly through scripture, and I'm going to show you, just give you examples, real examples of how we're being deceived out here, how a lot of people are being deceived using the Bible. People are using the Bible, and they're misleading people and deceiving them. So it's going to be a very eye-opening lesson for sure. But what I'm doing now is just I see people are still steadily coming in, so I'll continue sharing this, and we will there we go. Yep, we will continue to we will bring this stuff out, and what you're going to see with this lesson is very applicable to the work that Judah Mack and Brother Mosh have been doing, Bezalel and all that, exposing. But this, what I'm gonna do is make sure y'all don't go from one deception into another one, okay? Because like I said, it's a reality. It's out there. So, but yeah, and we're gonna be getting started here. Shalom, y'all. I still see y'all coming in. Shalom. All right. Let's see. There we go. All right. So, like I said, the title of this lesson is Exposing the Deception. Okay. Exposing the Deception. And we have, let me bring up my scriptures, and we're going to go into this. All right. Let me, okay. And like I said, if y'all can share this, I still see y'all steadily coming in. Like I said, y'all, it's going to be heavy. I'm coming down the middle on this one. The Most High really put this on my heart. and I've taught on this in parts, but this is a more focused lesson. I got the information in here, the evidence and all that stuff like that. It's going to be, like I said, yeah, it'll be it'll definitely, it's going to pull the curtain back, And like I said, I hit on this in part, but I felt this was the time to do a comprehensive breakdown. And most high willing, what this lesson will do is, if you do your own research, don't take me for my word, question everything out there. And what this lesson is going to make you, what you're going to see is that it's imperative. You're going to see how deception, by its nature, is subtle. It's designed for you to not pick up on it. But the book of the Most High Yah, okay, it's designed so that you can see the deception, okay? So, and what I'm just doing is posting this on Masha's page. I think he told me to do that. And I'm going to post this on Judah Mack's page also. I just talked to Judah Mack on the phone. I'm going to chop it up with him in a little while. But, okay, look like he already posted it. All right. But with that said, we're going to get into this. Put your seatbelts on. For some of y'all who have not been exposed to what I'm going to be bringing out, it'll be a shocker, okay? But what you're gonna realize, you're gonna see that what I'm saying is, like I said, I don't leave no wiggle room. The devil's in the details, so I don't leave out the details, okay? All right, so with that said, I want to say shalom to Tommy. Good to see you in there. Badadiah, good to see you in there. My Ak, Aliyah, good to see you in there. Keon Foster, good to see you in there. Ak, for y'all, those of y'all watching over there on Facebook, I'm sorry, for those of y'all watching over there on YouTube, I want to say that shalom to y'all. I'm just trying to get all my stuff tied up. All right, yeah, I got you. I see you, Eli. I understand. Yep, I hit you. Okay. For those of y'all watching over on YouTube, shalom, Mary, shalom, Sheila. Good to see you in there. Evelyn, good to see you in there. Tammy, good to see you in there. Sheila. All right, good to see y'all on there. Okay, so let's get into this. Exposing the deception. Let me open it up with this scripture. Let's find a good one. I took 2 Corinthians 11:13. We're gonna go. We're gonna bring the scriptures in so you can see I'm not playing with what I'm talking about. So 2 Corinthians, I'll put it up here so y'all can see it. 11, starting at verse 13, it says, "For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ." It says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose ending shall be according to their works." Okay, I'll make that bigger so y'all can see it. Okay, so what we're talking about here is subtle. They're reading the same scriptures I read, but they're using them in a different way. Okay, and for those of y'all who've come out of, because shalom to all my watchers coming who are viewing from on Milk in the Morning. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, Maj reached out to me, said he encouraged me to teach because they're a little busy now. And so I'm just filling in. And this was a message I thought was very applicable to things that are going on, because there is a lot of deception out here. Okay? And let's get into what I am talking about. What I'm talking about, what's going on out there, what a lot of these leaders are using is witchcraft to deceive you. Now, when I say witchcraft, they're not on there going wooly wooly and doing little magic Disney World spells, and you're like, you know. But what they're doing is very, in a way, is similar to that. Okay, what is in widespread use in religion, period, or so-called Bible teaching ministries, Hebrews, and is in widespread use in Christianity, is something that they've termed, it's called NLP. It's called Neuro Linguistic Programming. And they use it in a bad way. Neural means your nervous system, your emotional system. Okay? Linguistic means language, and programming means programming you to do what they want. So literally, they're using language and speech to manipulate you and control you, not through your logic, not appealing to your logic, but through your emotions. And that's just me running my mouth talking, but I'm gonna show you it. Okay? So let me bring this up. Okay? Got, all right. Have it here. Have the definition of it here where I saved it. All right. All right. All right. So here they wrote. Okay. I'll make this bigger so you can see it. So what is NLP? It says NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Neuro refers to your neurology. Linguistic refers to language. Programming refers to how the neural language functions. In other words, learning NLP is like learning the language of your mind. And what I would say better, it's like learning the language of your what they would call your subconscious mind, learning the language of your spirit, whatever you want to put, the part of your mind that you might not be aware of. And what is the language of what the Bible, what the book teaches you to be aware of. The Bible warns you about this stuff, and I'm going to show it all to you in this lesson. Okay? And in particular, because all NLP isn't bad, it's a vast field of science or whatever you want to call it. But what has happened, you have evil people who've taken the most powerful parts of it and used it for filthy lucre's sake. And like I said, we're gonna go into that. So check out this article from somebody on the inside. Okay, it says the 48 Laws of Power. These are the two main books that I looked at the chapter headings of these books and what they contain. And if you just look over, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just go through some of the just the chapter summaries of what these books teach, and it's gonna blow your mind because you're gonna see that it is in widespread use all throughout these so-called religious leaders. And what these books say is the place where these books can be used the most effectively is in religious establishments. Okay? So let's get into it. All right? It says the 48 Laws of Power and the Art of Seduction Destroyed Church Ministry. Okay, and I'm gonna just read some of the stuff this guy wrote here. Okay, and that's the book. And these are only two of the books that this guy wrote, Robert Greene. He's written more, but it says they turned holy men to seducers who seduce with words and false appearance. Packaging and games were born through the reading of these materials. A pastor of 10 members would Photoshop himself into a crowd to seduce people to follow him. And like I said, when we go through some of the stuff that these books tell you to do in order to gain a following of what? Gain a following of weak-minded, easily seduced, people who are easy to manipulate, people who are not grounded in the word of the Most High Yah. Okay, look, it says pastors of 10 members would Photoshop himself into a crowd to seduce people to follow him. Their bodyguards and flashy cars are meant to seduce you. We're going to get into that, where this is like, you can see the rules they lay out in these books of how to gain a following. And what you see is, you see these people walking it out to a T. You can literally predict these people's moves and how they're going to act and respond to stuff. When Judah Mack and Maj and Bez were bringing out this stuff about what was going on in the IUIC, and the stuff I've seen in the Hebrew Israelite community and in Christian churches, because I grew up in Christian churches, I saw this thing being worked to a T, to the letter, to where they're following what these books say more than they following what the word says. And like I said, after we read through this, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to show you. And I'm going to also show you how the word of the Most High Yah, his Bible, is exactly opposite to what this stuff says. It's perfectly opposite. And on top of that, it cuts right through all this clever deception like a hot knife through butter. It just goes right through it. Simple. But if you're not educated, if you're not grounded in the word, you will be led astray by this stuff. Because it's powerful if you're just out there in the world wandering around in your emotions and you're not grounded in the truth. Okay? This is heavy stuff. I know y'all see it already. It says, look, it says their bodyguards and flashy cars are meant to seduce you. The outfits, all the grandiose stuff they do, it's a seduction technique that they're working masterfully to a T. They're doing this stuff on purpose. So look, it says they literally seduce you. Their pulpit branding reflecting the Photoshop perfect image of the prophet is an art of seduction too. It says their action creates an image in your subconscious, I don't call it subconscious. I call it in your spirit. It's high level witchcraft in your subconscious, which is why you keep dreaming about the prophet or the so-called prophet or the false prophet. It says the 21st century Christian is seduced, but they know not. Well, you're going to know today, because we pulling the scales off. We coming down the middle. We ain't veering left. We ain't veering right. We coming straight down the middle. All right? So look, it says it's seduced. It says the 21st century Christian is seduced, but they know not. They literally lust. Maybe not sexually after the religious idols, but some of them do. Okay? They make their hair to look like him, speak like him, behave like him, and by so doing, lose their own originality. Some even declare with boldness that their pastor is worthy of worship. And I don't think people properly understand that word worship. I don't think they properly understand what that word worship means. Like, it don't necessarily mean, it means when, like with these, these ox with Mosh and Judah Mack were bringing out. It means they're willing to obey this guy over what the word says. Like, they're not willing to question him. Like, they don't realize what worship means. We have to properly define these words. Basically means who you're obedient to. And most of these people are more obedient to what what men say, who have seduced them, giving heed to seducing spirits. I got all them scripts there. We're going to bring them out. I'm just getting through this. Look, it says, some even declare with boldness that their pastor is worthy of worship. That's how seduced they are. Women sowing their husband's only car as seed to the prophet. All right. Do I even need to go into that? It says, I know a Lagos-based woman who gave her sick husband's property to a young prophet whom she lusted after. And like I was bringing out the other day, because a sister wrote me, hey, I give, she was saying she give her money 10%, this, that. But when you read the book of Acts, they put all their money together and distributed accordingly. So if her husband was sick, she would have got more of the money. And the pastor with the Bentley would have probably got nothing because he good. You've been seduced for filthy lucre's sake. I got the scriptures. Most girls have confessed to me that they have a serious crush on their pastor. A girl in Abba told me she masturbated daily with her papa's photoshopped image. Her pastor. Okay? Papa. They tell you, hey, I'm your spirit daddy and all this stuff. Okay? Unknown to them, they were unconsciously seduced this time section. Okay? So that's these books that we're talking about. Now, let's go into what these... You're like, Mike, what the heck is this crap? All right? I got it. I'm going to bring it out. Let me show y'all what's in these. We pulling the curtain back. Because a lot of y'all, this is the situation right here. This is your pastor right here, and this is you. You see what I'm saying? Let me make it bigger, because I think y'all think I'm playing. It's not a game. Michael Israel ain't playing today. We going straight. This is your pastor, or your leader, your leadership, and this is you. And that is what he using on you right there. See that electricity between his hands? That's what he using on you. He's a seducing spirit. He doesn't seduce you. We gonna get into it. I'm pulling the curtains back. I'm doing it slowly. Look, so check this out. I'm gonna show y'all. We're gonna just go through some of these books a little bit, and I'm gonna show you what they say. And majority of this stuff, you're gonna see where it's the exact opposite of what the Bible says. Okay. So look at this stuff, man. Okay? Look at this. And a lot of y'all, because I know y'all watching over there on Milk in the Morning, a lot of y'all who are viewing from Milk in the Morning, y'all are going to be like, whoa, he was using that more than the word. So here we go. Let's get into it. This is just quick, brief summaries of what's in this book, okay? I'm going to make it big so y'all can see it too. It says, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. Okay? Conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. It says, always say less than necessary. Let's see. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation. All right. Court attention at all costs. Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. It says, get others to do work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of other people to further your own cause. It says, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It says, win through your actions, never through argument. Any momentary triumph you think gained through argument is really a phoretic victory. Okay? Avoid the unlucky and unhappy. You can die from someone else's ministry. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. It says, learn to keep people dependent on you. So these are getting into some of the more heavy ones. It says, maintain your independence. You must always be needed and wanted. Let's see. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Okay? Once sincerely and honest, one sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Okay? When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. So this one is heavy because with a lot of them, and I think it says this further in it, one of the things you see with these people is if you do something nice for them that they appreciate, they will never thank you. They act like you owed it to them, like you were supposed to. And then they'll get you doing more. You'll be doing more and more, and they'll appreciate it less and less. It says if you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. Or of him. Yeah, so it says, pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you. You see what I'm saying? Let's see. It says, keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. And some of this stuff is from the Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Let me show y'all some heavy. It says do not play a sucker to catch a sucker. It says use the surrender tactic, transform weakness into power. It says keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement. Okay? I'm trying to I think it's 27. Yeah. This is the scary one here. It says play on people's need to create a cult-like following. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Okay? Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf. Okay? It's heavy. It says, in the absence of organized religion, organized religion and grand causes, your new belief system will bring you untold power. Okay? Let's go over, because the book that's even heavier than this is The Art of Seduction. Okay? And we could go back through some of the stuff in the other one. But let's go into The Art of Seduction. Okay? So that is here. Okay? And this is just, again, they sum the stuff up that's in the book. I really don't think there's a need to study it, because I'm telling you it's direct opposite what's in the word. It says choose the right victim. Your target should be someone for whom you can fill a void, okay? So you need weak people, basically. It says, don't try to get the most out of those who are too eager to please you, because they are usually looking to get something in return. Okay, it's heavy. It says, create a false sense of security, approach indirectly, send mixed signals, appear to be an object of desire, create a need, stir anxiety and discontent. People can't be seduced if they're content. Sell yourself by illustrating ways in which the other party is lacking in some respect, and then reveal how you can make up for that deficiency. Okay? Master the art of insinuation. It says if you're too straightforward with people you're trying to influence, you may scare them away. So don't, you see what I'm saying? And the Bible says, be straight up with folks. All right. It says, enter their spirit. It says, if you're trying to change people's minds, first play by their rules. Begin by becoming a mirror, and they will open up to you. I'm telling you, Ox and sisters, Akotis, I'm telling you, this is high level witchcraft. This is why women need a covering, because women are even more vulnerable to this, because they're emotional. You see what I'm saying? And that's why you see, like, especially in the Christian churches, the women, man, it's full of women, because they just buy into this. You saw where the guy said, hey, the women were giving up their cars and stuff. Women and effeminized men, women and emotional men are real susceptible to this. A real dudes off the street, dudes who ain't afraid to question anything, they break out of this. Look at ops like Judah Mack, man. He just wasn't going for the okie doke. He seen this thing. You know, dudes, you got to operate in a spirit of boldness. You can't operate in a spirit of fear and be afraid of men. I question anybody. Okay? Create temptation. It says, determine what your target's weakness is and play to it. Find an idea that, it says, find an ideal that this person is trying to realize and hint that you can lead them to it. Okay? But again, you're coming indirectly, so they can't trace nothing back to you. High level witchcraft. It says, keep them in suspense. It says, the moment people think they know what to expect from you is when you hold over them is broken. Keep their interest in you with the occasional surprise. And look, this trip off this. One of the laws in the 48 laws of power, and I think it's in here too, is they actually got a law for when people do what I'm doing right now. They got a law for what you need to do when somebody pulls the curtain back and exposes. And that's basically stop doing any of this and be straight up and honest. And they'll do that for a while, and then they'll go back to doing this high level manipulation when they think it's out of your memory. You see what I'm saying? So again, you need to see this, internalize it, know that this deception's out there. Be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. You need to be aware of this so it doesn't get used on you, but don't go out there and start using this. Don't get seduced into this power stuff and go out there and become a wizard and give your soul over to this wickedness. Because I'm telling you, when you can look at your you could take a look at your religious leaders and hold this thing up to them and see if they're using it. All you gotta do is sit back and watch. And once you're familiar with some of this stuff, A lot of y'all are like, whoa. Yeah, a lot of y'all see it being used right now by certain people, and it's blowing your mind. You know, it don't. You ain't got to become some. You don't got to become Darth Vader or the Emperor. You know what I'm saying? It don't take a lot to see when somebody's manipulative or when somebody's straight up. Like me now, I'm so sensitive and in touch with what's going on with my spirit and all that stuff. I can feel the manipulation when they do it, because I'm telling you, this stuff I'm saying is literally stuff you can feel it inside you. And when you're aware of what you're feeling, and you can feel your emotions being manipulated when you're around certain people and they're talking to you, it sends off warning signs in me now. See, a lot of women are so in touch with their emotions that they, in a way, they're led by them and they trust them. A lot of men too. And they end up getting manipulated, and they don't think it's that person. They think, hey, it's just me. You know, it's the spirit or whatever that person's doing to them. But you got to learn. Like with me, the first warning sign is when I feel my emotions. I feel them. I feel what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right. So let's continue. We're gonna continue hitting on it. All right. Let's see. All right, and we'll go back to that. It says, keep them in suspense. The moment people think they know. Okay, so we already read that. It says, use the power of words. If you are giving a presentation, for example, goad the audience onto your side by telling them what they want to hear. Make your argument convincing by making it enjoyable. Okay, and so like one of the things I've seen with IUIC is they got good documentaries, and some of their documentaries are straight up, but then you got, I'm sure there's a lot of manipulation there too. It says, pay attention to detail. Entice your target by making painstaking decisions look effortless. I don't know what that word is. Well, y'all see your presence. So it says you will not win people over if you are a nagging constant in their lives. Associate yourself with enjoyable experience so that your target misses you when you're gone. Okay? So, disarm through strategic weakness and vulnerability. Rather than overpowering your target, set aside your ego and communicate how the other side is in a dominant position, even if it isn't exactly true. I'm sure some of y'all seen that. You know, I'm sure Maj, because some of the stuff Maj and Judah Mack told me, I know they seen that. Okay. The folks was confessing on in these comments too. That, yeah, it happened to me, you know. So they, you know what I'm saying? All right. So let's continue. It says, prove. Let me see. Confused. I'm out of. It says, prove yourself. If your target begins to become insecure and pulls back from you, demonstrate your value by going out of your way to help him or her in some way. That goes to that bait. Okay, when you feel somebody might be falling off, give them some bait. Hey, I'll let you do this, or here, take that. I'm telling you, I'm showing you high level. These dudes, that's not your pastor. That ain't your apostle. That ain't your bishop. That ain't your deacon. That ain't your, super apostle, apostolic, number one select, this, that, all them titles they put there. No. That dude is a wizard. You dealing with a wizard. Or when they call themselves prophetess, you dealing with a witch. And these are spells, what they would call spells that they're casting on you. You literally have a spell cast on you in your emotions. Okay? Come out of her, my people. And like I said, I'm going to bring the scriptures out. But let me keep going. It says, effect of regression. Your target will have had similar relationships that work well for them. Figure out what they like most about these previous experiences and do things to evoke memories of them. Stir up the transgressive and taboo. Even the most clean-cut people have a curiosity of the forbidden. You do not need to be doing anything wrong to make the other side feel as if they are working in a nebulous area. That can mean something as simple as hinting that a deal you are offering is so great that it is unprecedented and needs to be kept secret. Okay? And like I said, I'm sure, some of this stuff I haven't seen, but I know some of y'all have experienced some of this. Yeah. All right, let's see. It says, use spiritual lures. So let's see what this is. It says, you run the risk of cheapening your words if they all lead to a singular goal, whether that be getting a job or selling a product. Supplement them with moral ideals that make your aim seem more important than it is. See, that's why religion is, the heavy thing to use. It says, avoid being overly polite with your target, which can have the unintended consequence of making you seem insecure and insecure. Mix complimentary language with blunt, straightforward insight. Give them space. When the other side is on your side, but has become used to you, recreate interest by taking steps back and all that. It says use physical lures. Keep your target focused on you by making yourself as attractive as possible, dressing nicely, smiling, and speaking with confidence. Okay? It says use physical. Okay, so it says master the art of bold move. So when your target has demonstrated that he or she is definitely interested in you, make a final offensive move stating your intended goal. End with a natural, bold finish rather than awkward or timidly avoiding what you really want. Beware of the after effects. Once you have succeeded in your seduction, employ variations of the above tactics to certain degrees to keep the other side from taking you from granted and making you disposable or whatever. So anyway, and that's the art of seduction, okay? But let's get into some Bible verses that show you that we're trying to warn you. So look, and I'm going to also show you what it sounds like, okay? Because the thing is, what this sounds like, the way I'm going to show, like, cause now I just know what it looks like. Basically, if somebody ain't coming straight, that's why I be telling you, I'm coming straight down the middle. I ain't going left to right. I'm exposed. Like I tell you in the title, hey, I'm exposing this, that, and the other. My agenda is that you don't blindly follow people. Having a leader or somebody being your leader isn't bad, but people don't understand what leadership is. Leadership means, when you're a leader, that simply means you lead. You do it first. So in you being able to do whatever it is you're doing first, then you can show other people how to do it. Like, for instance, I read up on all this information first. Now I'm showing other people how to do it. People get leadership mixed up with man worship. It's not the case. It's like I do a lot of teachings on relationships. I show I went through some of this stuff, and I just show you, explain to you how to navigate through the stuff. I navigated through the minefield using the word of the Most High Yah, and I show you, hey, this is how you navigate through the minefield. Leadership is not man worship. And that's envying our oppressor and bringing in the Babylonian way of worshiping men. Because these dudes are not leaders. They just idols who desire you to worship them. So what a lot of people need to do is just do some heavy studying on Christ and how he led. And it's just basic book. What's complicated and confusing are all these spells that you got cast on you in your emotions, where you're afraid to question these spells that are on you. You're afraid to question, the emperor. This dude got you. You like Darth Vader up in this mug, man. You done went to the dark side and don't even know it. You like, I will do your bidding, master. You know what I'm saying? He got you. He got that. You see that thing? He got that. I'm telling you, man. The simply understanding and defining these words will show you. I mean, look up leadership. I mean, lead. Look up lead. It means you're in the front. You're doing it first. You're going ahead. What did Christ do? He was ahead. He showed you how to walk this thing out. He wasn't on some kneel before Zod type stuff. But that's what we've been programmed into thinking leadership is. By the brainwashing, by these wizards out here. All right? Let me say. But that's how they have programmed us. Okay? And and I'm showing you how intricate that this deception is. Okay? I'm showing you right here. It's intricate. Like they have figured this out to a T. And a lot of y'all, now that y'all are seeing it, now that you're seeing it here right in front of you, it's almost it in a way it hurts, and it's like, whoa, and it humbles you, because if you got pride, you can't receive what I'm saying to you here. But we have to understand what leadership means, what a person that you're going to be following is, because there's a difference between following and worshiping. An idol, and like I said, that's another lesson that I'm gonna do. I wish I had integrated it into here, but yeah, that's something I wish I had, a lesson I had done on what leadership is, because like I said, we got a bad understanding of what it is. All right, hold on one sec. Okay. 1 second here. So yeah. So again, we can't, we have to have the proper understanding of what leadership is, okay? And look, I brought this up. Look, it's not this. This is not leadership.
Kneel before Zod.
Okay? That is not leadership. But that is what we have been, brainwashed into thinking leadership is.
Kneel before Zod.
I'm telling you. That's how, see, and I'm going to go into how to really, because I know I showed y'all the laws, but I'm going to show you what it looks like and what it feels like. And I'm going to give you some examples of what it looks like and feels like. Some of the examples, like when they guilt you into giving money, or when they make you, they make you feel bad for questioning them, and they don't They make you feel bad if you leave their ministry, like you going to hell or something. Like that's how it feels. What I need to do is find some messages where these, because I encourage people to, dude, if you don't need to sit up under spiritual combat or sit up under me, and if you say, hey, I like this other brother, I like the way he teaches, he bringing the truth out, and I think I'm gonna get down with his ministry, and I'd encourage you, like, yeah, just make sure you bringing it out in truth. But yeah, that's cool, cause see, what you have to spot. Another good way of spotting this is when people are trying to build something inside of what the Most High Yah has already built. Like, yeah, there might be a spiritual combat ministry and we might meet up, but what I'm going to encourage the people who are sitting up under me is, and I'm going to push them to do, is learn what you can from me, but what you need to be kind of focused on doing is learning what you can learn from me and then branching out and moving on and going and getting this out to even more people. Don't sit up under me worshiping me, man. But that's what these churches seek to do. They and these religious establishments, they seek to manipulate you and keep you up under them. And if like Nathaniel said it, and I've seen tons of Christian pastors say it, and a lot of groups in the Hebrew Israelite community say, "Oh, if you're not with this group," they refer to their group as the truth, and if you're not with their group, you're not in the truth. Even though you're sitting there, like Judah Matt pulled that out, man. The brother sitting there reading the word, bringing the word out in spirit and in truth, bringing it out heavy. You know, you see the scripture breakdowns, these Mosh and Bezalel, all these people bringing out a sound and on point, and yet you're not in the truth because you ain't up under them. You're not with their thing. You know, that's one of the main manipulation tactics. Guilting. It's basic. So what I'm going to do, though, we're going to get back. I'm going to show y'all some more. Let's get into some more scriptures, though. So look, here we go. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Okay? After the tradition of men. These books I just showed you are the traditions of men. I'm gonna tell you the reason why a lot of people get deceived out here, and the same people out here getting deceived by these religious idols, because I wouldn't even call them leaders, by these religious idols out here, these men who want worship of other men. The reason why they get deceived is because they have not used this word on themselves to get their own mind right. Okay? I always say it in my lessons, the two best places to start to begin looking at yourself and getting your mind right, and the shield that protects you from getting taken advantage of by these wizards and warlocks out here are the book of Ecclesiasticus and the which is Sirach in the Apocrypha, and Proverbs. Okay? Those are the two books. Start with Proverbs. If you study Proverbs, you will not get deceived, because it's going to get your mind right. It's going to get you aligned. It's going to show you your weaknesses and emotional vulnerabilities. And it's also going to expose people who take advantage of your weaknesses and emotional vulnerabilities. And that way, you won't end up like Darth Vader. You won't be out there, you know what I'm saying, serving under this guy.
Kneel before Zod!
You see what I'm saying? I got to put some comedy in there, because when you see this, like when you really begin to walk in the spirit and see these wizards out here, it's comedy. Like, because because I've studied Proverbs and Ecclesiasticus and all those books so thoroughly, and I know Satan's handbooks that he got these people working in, their vain deceit and their vain babbling and all that. It's like these dudes are powerless to this word. Like you just see they can't run game on you. And then when you deal with them, because the way I deal with them, and anybody for that matter, is straight, blunt, direct. And they don't respond to that. They sit there and tap dance, this, that, and the other, and be shucking and jiving and trying to work these vague techniques. And I hold them to the fire. I was like, no, can you do that? Well, this, that, and the other, verbal judo this, and Krav Maga, verbal Krav Maga this, and they doing all these techniques. And I was like, no. What about this? And then eventually, they just got to back off from me and leave me alone. Because they're like, he is not a good subject to use my... It's jammies and jambries. They could not withstand Moses. It's same thing today, man. Like, Kenneth Copeland, look in that dude's eyes. Just look at the dude's eyes. And you should know that you shouldn't be up in that ministry. The dude's eyes is like this, and his eyebrows is all like, just looking at that dude should send off warning signs. Some more higher level wizards are TD Jakes, man. Look, let me tell you this. I'll be honest with you. Like, I have been in the presence of high level wizards in this stuff, and all praises to the Most High Yah for giving us his book, because there's some powerful dudes out there. But I'm telling you, if you understand the basics of the book, and that's why I teach on spiritual combat, it's just getting your mind right. That's why it's called spiritual combat. It's all done on purpose, because that's where the war is at. You heard the song that I played at the beginning of the show that the Ark made for me, man. We wrestle. The dude said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but it's a spiritual combat. Brother nailed it on the song. Folks don't realize, man. One of the things I was telling one of my ox, because I counsel ox in the IUIC. I keep it low key. I don't bring it out. But one of the things is like, and they've told me, man, they've told me certain things about the inner workings and what goes on in there, and what they're doing, they're building their structure on weak-minded people. So what are you going to have? A weak structure. And that's totally opposite the book, okay? That's totally opposite and opposed to what's in the book of the Most High Yah. It's totally opposite, because he wants you to get your mind strong. One of the things they do in the IUIC, and it's not just the IUIC, it's in Christendom. It's in Christendom, and it's also in among other places in the Hebrew Israelite community. Because once you got your spirit tuned in and in line with the word of Most High Yah, and you know they little tricks, and let me tell you this, there's verses in there that counter all these laws they got laid out here in these books, in the 48 laws and all that. There's you read Proverbs, and if you want to take it even deeper, again, you get the Apocrypha, read Sirach, otherwise known as Ecclesiasticus. There's stuff that counters, and that's directly against all that. You know what I'm saying? It tells you to be things that tells you to be leery of, that these books are telling you to do. It's like whoever Robert Greene went in the Bible and wrote the opposite of all the stuff it told you not to do. That's how wicked these books are. Okay? So one of the things I've seen is what they do is put all these burdens on you, in like in some of these camps and the church and stuff. They put all this stuff in there that you have to do so that you don't got time to get your mind right. In order to get your mind right, in order to get your deal with these demonic oppression you might have going on, and the sin you're wrestling with, you need time. You need time to yourself. Okay? And once you've overcome that, then you come out and be a teacher and a leader. Because now you've been through this, you've done the internal work. So now you can go out and you can be a leader and you can lead because you don't need all that time to get your mind right. What you see in a lot of these organizations is they got sinners in positions of leadership and just weak-minded people in positions of leadership, and it's just a hot mess. So now you got a den of sin. You know what I'm saying? You got a group of sinners, and it's a dangerous place for you to go in at. Because then something will happen to you. Something happened to your family. A lot of these churches are full of homosexuals and child molesters and dudes addicted to internet porn and women who are harboring unforgiveness over things that have happened to them. The thing I say in all my broadcasts, over 50% of our women have been raped or molested, and they're harboring bitterness and unforgiveness and all this stuff to hurts that have happened, and there's no time to deal with it because they gotta serve the emperor. You know what I'm saying? They in one of these, but they gotta serve this guy. They gotta do what this guy wants because they gotta do what this guy wants over what the Most High Yah wants. They so busy serving their leaders, they don't have time to do what Christ said. Christ said first, clean the inside of the glass, get your mind right, then take care of the outside. Do all the external stuff. Okay, it's the exact opposite with these organizations, man. Okay, it's the exact opposite. All right, so let me show y'all some other stuff. Let me bring out another script, and then I'm going to show y'all some stuff. Look, and this is all I'm telling you to do right here. One of Spiritual Combat's agendas right here. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yah. How do you try the spirits? Well, this is how they tell you. Oh, well, see, how does it feel? Well, it feels right. I feel happy. I feel the emotion. I feel this. No. It says if what he's saying don't line up with that word, forget about it. And where did I tell you a good place to start? Proverbs. Because a lot of y'all are trying to discern people's spirit and your spirit messed up. So what you got to do is get your spirit right. Know where you're off at in your thinking and in your feelings. And align your emotions, because it's not bad to be emotional, but when your emotions aren't lined up with the word, you're in a dangerous spot. You're going to get manipulated. It says, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. What I'm saying is that applicable to the situation we see going on today? That's the question you got to ask. Is that scripture I just read, is that applicable to what we see going on today? Sister Yonda put character building 101. That's literally all Spiritual Combat is trying to do. We're trying to help you build your character so you don't walk around acting like a character. One of my things is don't entertain clowns. Let the clowns entertain you. Just sit back and watch these clowns. You know, to me, it's funny. One of my ops sent me a pastor's lesson, and I watch stuff like that because I don't watch cable television. I don't. I watch a movie here and there, stuff like that, but I don't watch TV. I watch a lot of biblical teachings and stuff like that. And when you think I'm playing, but when I want to laugh, I watch some of these preachers out here. Because to me, it's funny now. Because now sitting back and you got understanding on how they manipulate. And I sit there and watch the dudes buying the Bentleys and the Lamborghinis, and they give their excuse why they bought it. Like, that's my new comedy. I don't watch Steve Harvey and the comedians anymore. These pastors are perfect. And there's plenty of it out there. So if I want to laugh, I just put on one of their messages and watch it. And it's very funny. I'm like, dude, I'll be on there dying laughing, you know? It's like, you can't make it up. So, yeah, it's just natural comedy, you know? But I understand what it feels like to be lost in this stuff and to be swearing that this is, like, you talk to some of these women who have really been divined upon, and the spell is just, a powerful spell has been cast on them, and it's just sad, man. It's sad, you know? And it angers me, man, because I don't like these dudes, man. Like I said, man, I wouldn't express my anger that I have for these and disdain that I have for these people on air. You know, it wouldn't be good, because this is how I'm called to express that anger. Just put the word out there for y'all and let y'all do with it what you may. Okay? So let me see. So check this out. All right, let me show y'all this. So look at this. So we're going to show y'all some more of this witchcraft. It says, control the opinions. Control the opinions. Get others to play the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones, what did it say? The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Your victims feel they are in control, but actually you're puppets. Give the people options that come out in your favor, whichever one they choose. Force them to make choices between the lesser of two evils. I'm not choosing the lesser two evils. I'm choosing right. Okay? Both of which serve your purpose. Play to people's fantasies. It says the truth is often avoided because it is ugly. The truth is often avoided because it is ugly. That's why a lot of these places, you know, Christian, Hebrew camps and all that stuff, that's why they a lot, you see, like, the Ak was telling me, like, one of the states, one of the cities that, for those of y'all watching on Milk in the Morning, they're telling me one of them groups out there in Austin or whatever, the whole group left. Like 150 people, all the leadership, all that. Because they realized the truth wasn't there. It was lies and deception. And you see, this is their handbook. Like, if you're a member of a big organization or somebody trying to form something, it's gonna be, you might have to make a you might get a real hard revelation that's painful emotionally. And you're like, man, this dude might be wicked. And then you're gonna bring this thing to him. Hey, are you using this? Oh no, brother. And then he gonna start keeping the other law. If we come across that law, I'm gonna show you it. There's a law in there that says, hey, if they ask you, are you using this? They got a way they respond to that. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's witchcraft and deception. My recommendation, if you are pretty positive that they using it wherever you at, get to stepping. And get your mind girded up. Because you were deceived. A lot of y'all been deceived. I was for years. You know? I mean, if you were up in a Christian church, you were deceived. You know, you were probably under it, especially if you were in some big church. You ain't gonna form a church that big if you kicking the truth out. You know what I'm saying? Not with the level of deception in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? How off they are and what they teach. You know. Let's see. It says, play to people's fantasies. The truth is often avoided because it is ugly and unpleasant. Hey, spiritual combat down the middle. Hey, I don't think I'm gonna have a mega spiritual combat thing, cause folk, hey, I bang on people's emotions, man. You know what I will say is people getting frustrated with the pain they in. So there's gonna be a group of people who follow me, but it's gonna be down the middle. I don't want your money. You know, if you hard pressed and you feel led by Yah and all your bills is paid off and you rich and you feel, hey, that's my calling to get, hey, you could do it. But for the most part, I don't want Hebrews' money. I don't want y'all's money. Keep it. My desire is that y'all wake up, because I know the pain I went through from being deceived for years. And it hurts me to see other people in that pain and confusion. And if you want to give back, just share the video. That's the best offering you could give. Because I know as a nation, our people don't even got money. You know? But we need this truth. So look, never appeal to truth and reality unless you are prepared for the anger that comes from disenchantment. Disenchantment. These people enchanting on you. They divining on you. They casting spells. See, they know this is witchcraft. Let me put this up here so you keep it 100 so y'all don't think I'm just saying stuff. Right there. Disenchantment. Life is so harsh and distressing that people who can manufacture romance and conjure up fantasy are like oases in the desert. Everyone flocks to them. There is great power in tapping into the fantasies of the masses. It's not a game, y'all. It's not a game out there. It's not a game, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's not a game out here. When you read through the whole book, when you read through this whole Bible, you see murder, betrayal, death, destruction, warfare. My whole setup is combat and military battle war related, because that's what you're in. You're not wrestling against flesh and blood. You are in a spiritual war. If you could see what the spiritual war around you looks like, it looks like this. That's why I got it in my intro. Look, this is what it looks like. That's what your daggone brain looks. That's what's going on in the spirit world around you. That's what you're involved in. That's what I'm trying to wake people. That's why it's called spiritual combat, because that's literally what's going on around us. And it bothers me when I see people teaching bubblegum Disney World Candyland doctrine, and they're not addressing the racism and the relationship issues and the lust issues and the rape and molestation that happens and the depression, all the issues that people are wrestling with. No, they just, well, here, eat this candy and you're going to feel good for a little while and then you'll come back to me to get some more. No, I want you to come here, get this, and not have to keep coming back. But they doing this thing for filthy lucre's sake. So they use their Bible right here. The Satanic Bible. The Satanic Bible of manipulation, 48 laws of power, and the art of seduction. It said life is so harsh. You're right. So let's help lessen the harshness. His book will show you how to take that harshness and distressing and all that negativity negativity off your life. Okay? It says life is so harsh and distressing that people who can manufacture romance or conjure up fantasy are like oases in the desert. I'm telling you, man, you can now you begin to see. So let's get into this. One of the ways you're gonna know who's manipulative, who being manipulative, is they selling a lot of fantasies. Okay? They're giving you a lot of bubblegum doctrine and feel good stuff, and they ain't hitting on nothing. You know, they'll speak on relationships a little, but they won't go too far into it and speak on the heavy, weightier matters of the issues, because they don't want to push you away, because they're getting after that paper, boss. They're getting after that paper. Filthy lucre's sake. That's right, John. All right. So look. So let's see what else. Here we go again. It says, and you saw this when I was reading the Art of Seduction stuff. It said, discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. The weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncomfortable emotion, or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew. You can turn it to your advantage. Witchcraft. If I find your thumbscrew, I'm going to take the screw out and help you fix it, like the word says. If I find a secret pleasure that you have, if it's a sinful one, we're going to help you get that thing right. That's what the word says. But Satan says use it to your advantage. Witchcraft. I'm just telling you. Y'all know what, I'm just being 100, man. Get out from under Zod. I'm telling you. Get out from under him, man. Stop kneeling before Zod. I'm playing for y'all again.
Kneel before Zod!
Stop kneeling before Zod, man. I'm telling you, stop doing it. I'm just keeping it. That's what you're doing. All right, let's see what else we got here. It's talking about mastering the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry. You know, you always got it under control. Oh, it's good. Even though half the congregation done left because we wicked and we wizards. Oh, it's all good. And hey, and the Most High with us and this thing, you know, whatever. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. I gotta go back to my ox watching over there on Milk in the Morning, man. Y'all seen this firsthand. I know y'all. Judah Mack brought that out. Mosh was telling me about it. It says, by acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make him. And a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. So, like I said, you will be able to predict these wizards' moves to a T. And, you know, and again, study Proverbs, though. Start at Proverbs. Make sure, read through Proverbs, not in a prideful way where you're like, oh, yeah, they be doing that. Oh, yeah, I seen him doing that. Oh, yeah, they be. No, read through Proverbs looking at yourself. All right. It says, create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Stage spectacles for those around you, then full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols, like that big march, you know, or, you know, whatever. You know, I know because when I retired from the military, I got out active duty Air Force, moved down here to Georgia. We started going to Bishop Eddie Long's church I went to a couple of his services, and I could tell I was alcoholic, smoking, and in all types of sin, and I could still tell that dude was off, okay? And I watched him transition from the church, the small church, I guess it's in I forget where it's at. And then he moved to the one in Lithonia or whatever. The big, super, mega church that looked like a football stadium inside. And the first time I came to that service, what he would do, you had a worship service going, and then they stop, and they had a big Megatron, mega screen up there, and they like, the man of God is entering the building, and you see him pull up in the back of the church in a limo on the big Megatron screen. He'd pull up in a limo, and it'd be a line of security down this path, and he'd get out the car, and the security would enter with him and come in, and he'd come into the church, and everybody would be like, "Hail Caesar!" You know, and the black women with the big hats and the spandex pants on were like, "Yeah, hey, Jesus, oh, praise God." You know, and they worshiping this dude. I was like, dang, Mom. I was like, this thing went to his head. And I was asking my mom, I was like, "Ma, why he got a Jerry curl wig on?" And she like, "He's the man of God. Don't worry about it." You know, and all that stuff. You know? But that's just how dudes be looking at stuff. You know? It was a mess, man. And then, you know, fast forward, you know, y'all know how all that played out. And like I said in my lesson yesterday, I'm going to tell you this. If you want to see what this stuff looks like, watch one of his messages. That dude mastered this. High level. Even stuff, I guess it must be in other books, tonality. That's part of neuro-linguistic programming, is tonality. Voice tone. You can use that to control people, especially women. Eddie Long had this stuff down packed to a T, and you see the money he made off it. This stuff is not a game. This lesson is not a game. And pray for your op. Pray for Michael Israel. Because I'm smashing into this spirit world. It's not a game. It's powerful. They're not using it because it don't work. They're using it because it's brutally, ruthlessly efficient. But again, I'm going to say this. It says the wisdom of man is foolishness for the Most High Yah. Proverbs kills all this stuff. It's like nothing. It's funny. I told you, I sit there and watch an Eddie Long message for comedy while I'm eating my dinner. It's funny to me now. But if you don't have this word in you, you can feel it messing with your emotions. I could watch one of his messages now and just sit there and watch it and be like, look at that. I can feel the emotion being manipulated in there. I could feel some of this. I could feel some of that. Yes. You see what I'm saying? It's that powerful. If you sit there and watch it, you can feel the emotions in you being jerked around. But when you're grounded in this truth, you're not going to give in to it. But it's that powerful. It's high-level emotional manipulation. And I mean, man, and I feel sorry for them women who are out there. I mean, this stuff just overrides your logic and goes right for your emotions. Yeah, it's heavy stuff, man. It's heavy. And I'm telling you, the bigger the ministry, the better they are at this, period. Until you finally land at the Pope. You know? Or, you know, even, because your boy Joel Osteen and who the other guy? The guy who takes his jacket and be like, "What the?" and knock everybody down. Those people went over there and, go look it up. They went over there and acknowledged the Pope's authority. I'm telling you, when you say witchcraft, this is witchcraft. All right. So let's see what else we got. Create compelling spectacles. Think as you like, but behave like others. Stir up waters to catch a fish. Despise the free lunch. It says, avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Trouble can often be traced to a single strong individual. You see? That's why they ain't going to teach you this word. That's why this stuff only works on the weak men. That's why they beguile these silly women. And these women that are in these ministries across the board. This is one of the, just like 1 + 1 = 2 is a woman plus one of these ministries equals an angry husband and a messed up home. It's literally like a math formula you could put together. If a woman is in one of these ministries, her home and marriage is going to be a hot mess. If a man is in one of these ministries, a man plus one of these ministries, he's going to be feminized. These are like math equations. The consistency I've seen it in. You know what I'm saying? All right. So it says, work on the hearts and minds of others. Like I said, my limited language, I don't know what that word is. Coercion. Coercion. So to coerce. All right. Like I said, I'm learning. But it says coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. And the way to seduce others is to separate. The way to seduce others is to operate on the individual psychologies and weaknesses. Spirit. To operate on their spirit. It's spiritual combat. I got that verse. I'm going to read that verse. Soften up the resistant by working on their emotions. Playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others and they will grow to hate you. Okay? Spiritual warfare. And it said the word of the Most High Yah is quick and powerful than any two-edged sword. You need this word. You need it. And not on some surface level. You got to internalize it and use it to gird up your mind. Because I'm telling you, the times are dark, man. And y'all see here, the seduction is masterful. If you weren't in the truth, this thing would be beautiful. But these people, I'm telling you, they're using this stuff. And this is coming from somebody inside the church right here. This article. And we're going to read it again. I'm just repetition on this thing, making sure y'all know, because I'm called to wake folks up. All right? Let me go back to it. I'm going to read this again. It says, work on the hearts and minds of others. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. And the way to seduce others is to operate on the individual psychologies and weaknesses. On their individual psychologies and okay? Preying on the weak. Preying on the weak. All right, I got a scripture backing that up. Let me show you this scripture. All right. Let's get into the word. Right there. Okay. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. These dudes is wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents. Be on to their ways. Be on to they games. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. I know y'all see this stuff. It could be tempting to try to use this stuff. You are called to be harmless as a dove. Don't prey on the weak. Build the weak up into strong. That's what you're called to do. You're not called to get the weak and manipulate them so you can build your thing. Make sure you lined up and don't get seduced, man. It's easy if you ain't got this word internalized in your mind. All right. Let's see the other scripture. I got. Told y'all. Okay. This is what this whole lesson is about. Again, it says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. And this book teaches them how the 48 Laws and the Art of Seduction, those other Robert Greene books, teach them how to be perfect ravening wolves. It teaches them how to put their sheep's clothing on to look very believable so that they can devour you. How do they devour you? They just keep you in your sin and bleed you dry of whatever resource they need from you. How will you know them? You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? The way what their fruit's going to be is you're going to see a bunch of dysfunctional, sin-filled, fake people around them. That's how you're going to know them, by the fruits. See, that's why that one verse right there can dismantle anybody using all that witchcraft. That's how powerful the word of the Most High Yah is. Simply watching the results of what they're doing will tell you what's going on. You don't even need to know all the intricate details. You will just know them by their fruit. You'll see a bunch of people, dysfunctional people, wrestling with all types of issues, and nobody really addressing it and teaching on it. You'll hear the lessons, the milky, watered down, you know what I'm saying? It won't even be milk. It'll just be watered down lessons that really can't bring any power in them. You see what I'm saying? All right. Let's go. So look at this. Let's see what else we got. It says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. We read this earlier. And it's like, it's not shocking because Satan does it. That's how he operates, and that's how they're operating. So this is Titus chapter 1, verse 10 and 11. It says, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not. And why are they teaching things that they shouldn't? For that paper, baby. They trying to make that paper for filthy lucre's sake. Follow that money, follow the money, and the money will tell you what to do. Look where the money going. Look at the money, and again, you will know them by their fruits. So yeah, you will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. Okay? Just watch what's the result, what's their game, A lot of times, don't even listen to what they say. Just watch what's going on. All right? And that's why the Most High gave you a brain, the type of brain that he did, in the intellect and eyes and ears and in discernment and brothers and sisters around you and all that stuff. That's why he gives that to you. Okay? So what I gave you here is an example out of Ecclesiastes 7:7. It, where I'm sorry, this is Ecclesiastes, okay, in the Bible. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So you had that one law where it says, use bait, give them a gift, give them something. You see what I'm saying? And you have, this is just one example of, you got plenty of laws in the Apocrypha, plenty of verses in there, and plenty of verses in Proverbs and throughout the Bible that directly contradict, perfectly oppose these laws you see in the Art of Seduction and in the 48 Laws of Power. Okay? Now, let's see what else we got here. Work on their heart, disarm and infuriate with a mirror effect. So this is one of the rules they use to create confusion when you're on to their trail. The mirror reflects reality, but it is also the perfect tool for deception. It is also the perfect tool for deception. It is also the perfect tool for deception. When you mirror your enemies doing exactly as they do, they cannot figure out your strategy. But now you can. Because when you begin to bring this up, you might see people teach on this. You know, again, you got to look at it, all the other laws and look at their past behaviors and all that stuff. But that's the strategy, the mirror effect. I mean, I'm telling you, once you're on to this and then you're using the word, which is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart, it just slices through it. Y'all, this deception does not stand up to the word in any way. So do not be intimidated and scared. And I gave you some good areas to start at. Proverbs. The book of Sirach, which is Proverbs on steroids in the Apocrypha. The book of Sirach, otherwise it goes by two names, Sirach and Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. It makes this stuff look like comedy. Because that's what it looks like to me when I watch these people use it. Okay? The mirror effect mocks and humiliates them, making them overreact. By holding up a mirror to their psyches, you seduce. Witchcraft seduce them with the illusion that you share their values. By holding up a mirror to their actions, you teach them a lesson. Few can resist the power of the mirror effect. So basically, when you exposing them, they'll do a lesson or they'll do something or they'll say something literally saying the exact same thing you're saying. You're like, wait, that's what I just said. And you sitting there like, witchcraft. It's witchcraft, dude. That's why I said there's laws in there of what to do when you expose them. They're in there. It's witchcraft. But again, it don't stand up to the word. Don't stand up to Proverbs. It don't stand up to anything in the book. You just watch the fruits. Follow that paper. There's 20 different ways to figure these people out. One of the quickest is just when you see, like when you're dealing with somebody and you always feel weird emotions going on, that is a warning sign that they're manipulative. You know, that don't necessarily mean that they're using this book, but then it should be a warning sign and you should test that thing. Okay? Look at this high-level wickedness. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Okay? So don't get them right. Never appear too perfect. It says, do not go past the mark you aim for in victory. Learn when to stop. Assume formlessness. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable on the move, accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never be bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. I'm sure y'all could put a scripture in there that could crush that. Because let the word be true and every man a lie. Because that word is unchanging. The truth in that book is unchanging. Nothing changes it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, stop kneeling before Zod. Don't kneel before Zod anymore.
Kneel before Zod!
Okay? Don't buy into that. Don't become the emperor's puppet. Don't be seduced by his witchcraft that these religious leaders are out there, you know, divining on you. Spells these people are casting on you. Yeah, I see y'all put a ton of comments in there. I appreciate all y'all. A lot of people tuned in. Milk in the Morning, appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope this was informative to you. To my people watching on Spiritual Combat, appreciate all y'all tuning in. And like I said, if Mosh is, if he needs me to fill in again, you know, I'll fill in. I don't mind. I appreciate the audience and people being enthusiastic to learn and everything. Anyway, yeah, with that said, man, I'm going to take it out with the Spiritual Combat song and just listen to the words in there, because that is what it's about, man. We're in a spiritual war, but literally we're in active combat right now. We got to realize that we are under attack, you know, and like I said, man, we pulling out the big weapons, man. We exposing the deception that these people who are deceived by Satan and manipulating people, man, you know, we're exposing that thing, you know. So, all praises to the Most High. So anyway, with that said, man, just hang, don't tune out just yet. Listen to the words in the song. And I like this song this Ock made. It's J&J Music Production, man. I'm going to eventually turn this into a video whenever I get time. Anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Enjoy the music, and shalom, y'all.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's time to get into formation. We gotta get ready for the battle. So call on your brothers and sisters. We gotta turn back to the scriptures. Stop making it all about you. Them preachers, they got it confused. Come out of her. Cause Yahuwah is our deliverer. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, cause nobody's perfect. We're called by his name. We're called by his name. Seek him to be worthy. We should be coming together. There's power and unity. It's time to come into the order, cause we are a living prophecy. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. Lace up them boots. We gotta move, step mode, put on camouflage. We gotta be wise.